Wow, that's a lot. I have a variety of different updates for you in this video, as well as a quick mention of the stimulus package update. All of that plus more in this video. Let's get into this right away. But really fast, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate your support. If you haven't done so yet, or if you happen to be new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, especially today as it is the evening of Thanksgiving Day. So thank you so much for joining me on a holiday. It's really nice to have you here, and of course, a huge happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope that you had a really nice day, and maybe you hung out and watched some football. I know that there was a lot of football going on today. In fact, I spent the day with my parents, and of course, Corey and the baby, and we just had a really nice day, and of course, football was on all day in the background. Well, at least the time that we were there anyway. So anyway, a lot of stuff going on. So again, thank you so much for being here on a holiday with me. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into this, as I have a variety of different updates for you in this video. First off, as I mentioned a few days ago, the country of Austria is going into a 20-day lockdown, a full-fledged lockdown, and a vaccine mandate. Well, check this out. The country of Germany is now looking into the same thing, a full-fledged lockdown, and they're going into a vaccine mandate. So, again, as I mentioned a couple days ago, COVID cases over in Europe are really surging right now. In fact, they're seeing records. 2.1 million new cases of COVID on a weekly basis. That's a ton. Seriously, that is a lot of new cases. So, we got to watch that very closely, because you never know what's going to happen over in the European countries, and whatever happens over there, you got to kind of stay tuned, because that maybe could be coming over here, especially now that we're into some pretty cold days and we're getting into the colder seasons here. So that's something we got to keep our eyes on. Also, I saw another report here that I just ran through. Kind of interesting stuff and kind of really sad ultimately. Food banks are really getting a run on their goods right now. So I know that a lot of you in this community have visited food banks lately. Yeah, kind of a bad situation out there right now. Honestly, they're having a really hard time getting all the foods that they're looking for. In fact, according to this report that I was just reading, this one food bank alone is going to distribute 1 million pounds of food every single week. That's a ton of food. Seriously, that is so much food on a weekly basis. Well, here's the problem. They're having a hard time getting all the food that they need right now. First off, because of the supply issues, it's a hard time getting everything. Plus that, everything is so priced so high right now. In some instances, they're being bid right out of some of their orders. In other words, basically what they were saying is everything is being bid up so fast right now. They might have an order in to get a bunch of food in, and all of a sudden somebody will also come in and bid it up. In other words, willing to pay more, and therefore undercutting their order and basically snatching it right out of their hands. That's kind of sad, right? So basically in this report, they're saying this year alone for turkeys, they're paying 20% more. Peanut butter, 40% more is what they're paying right now to get their hands on some of these goods and their food. So yeah, it's kind of hard to get a hold of some of this stuff. And these food banks are really struggling right now to get what they need to help out all the people who are visiting them. So, wow. Again, in this same report, they went on to say that 42 million Americans in 2021 are going to experience food insecurity. That's a lot of people. I ran the math on that. That's 12.6% of our population right here in the United States. 12.6% of the people out there in the United States right now are going to experience food insecurity in 2021. Does that seem like a reasonable thing to be experiencing in the wealthiest country in the world, or as they tell us anyway? I don't know. Something about that seems really messed up to me, right? If we're so rich and we're so wealthy and affluent, why are there 42 million people that don't even have enough food on the table every single month or for the entire year? And check this out. As I mentioned just the other day, 37 plus million people in this country right now are living in poverty. So we'd probably have to anticipate, again, we never want to assume anything, but we could probably guess that probably the majority of the people living in poverty probably some of those people living with a food insecurity as well, right? So 37 million. But that still means we have 5 million more people that are experiencing food insecurity on top of the 37 million living in poverty. Now, again, we don't want to just automatically say somebody living in poverty has food insecurity, but if somebody's living in poverty, their income is very low. Therefore, with all the other expenses of living and stuff like that, it's probably highly likely. Again, I don't know how many other ways we can possibly say it, but it obviously all the signs are there for Congress to issue additional relief to low-income and fixed-income Americans, right? Stimulus checks, monthly recurring payments, whatever they got to do, honestly, they need to figure something out. I mean, I cannot believe that Congress has allowed this to happen for this long. Something about this seems really messed up, and it seems to me like something needs to break. Like, in other words, Congress needs to, like, do something, right? Pull their head out of the sand and, I don't know, issue some relief. I don't know. To me, it's just a really frustrating situation because I see the stories down below in the comment section literally every single day, and it just makes me feel so bad because I just feel there's so many people out there that are struggling, and it just makes me, honestly, it's such a sad situation because I want to make sure that all of you are doing well. And when I see the stories in the comments down below, it's just, honestly, it's just a really sad thing. So anyway, but I wanted to share that with you with that report out of the food banks and everything that's going on right now. But again, it's a real struggle out there. Seriously, everything going on right now. All right, so I want to talk about another topic here. Again, maybe you'll care about this just because it's interesting, and maybe you won't, and that's okay too. But I found this and I thought it was kind of really interesting, considering here we are in the evening of Thanksgiving. In fact, I'm recording this video at about 9:32 when I hit 9:32 p.m. Eastern time when I hit the record button. So I plan on getting this up in about 28 minutes at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So this is almost practically a live stream, right? By the time I actually get this up. But anyway, I was just reading about retail sales and revenues generated basically today and from November through December. Some massive numbers. Let me go through some numbers here for you. And again, maybe you care about this just because it's interesting, and maybe you don't. Either way, I thought it was really interesting. It's some massive numbers. So far in the month of November, consumers, us, the American people, have spent $76 billion, billion with a B, not million, $76 billion so far in the month of November online alone. That's it. That's a massive number. Well, they're also anticipating that today alone, Thanksgiving Day, when we're supposed to be spending time with our friends, family, acquaintances, neighbors, anybody that we enjoy spending time with, that we care about, whoever we spend our time with. Today alone, us, the consumers, will be spending anywhere between $5.1 and $5.9 billion again today alone online. Well, check it out. On Monday, many of you know on Monday, this coming Monday is called Cyber Monday. What they do is that's typically like a day that is dedicated to like shopping online for online deals and stuff like that. They're anticipating $11 billion of revenues alone just on Monday from online sales. Again, massive, right? So here's what they're also anticipating. Between November through December, so just those 2 months, November 1st through the end of December, they're anticipating $207 billion of sales in those 2 months alone. That's a lot of money, seriously. That is a lot of money cooking right there. So that's a lot of money going out the door right now. So those are some really interesting numbers I wanted to come back and share with you just because I thought this was super interesting to kind of go through this and see the sheer volume of different things that are like all the money that's flowing out right now. Here's a couple other things that I thought was really interesting as well. Out of this online sales and everything going on right now, there's 1 trillion, like trillion, 1 trillion website visits. That's what's going on right now through this period, November through December. Through this time, 1 trillion visits to websites. That is like absolutely nuts, right? So anyway, I think it's kind of fascinating. I'm always kind of fascinated by numbers, especially huge numbers like that. I guess it just shows the sheer volume behind the American people and kind of like what's going on here. But at the same time, it's also kind of a sad situation because here we are, many people in this community sitting here thinking, sure would be nice to be able to get a few things here, especially right now when there's apparently some deals out there with things going on, especially starting maybe today or this evening, especially tomorrow, maybe Monday when the deals start kicking in online, things like that. So I know it's kind of a tough situation to look at all this and say like, everybody else is out there buying stuff. Yeah, they are, but at the same time, a lot of people, according to what I'm finding as well, are floating all of this on credit cards. Not a good thing. I mean, honestly, I have a few credit cards myself. In fact, I have like 3 or 4 credit cards myself, but I use those very carefully because I know what it's like to start paying on interest rates on a credit card. Ooh, if you can avoid that, please do. Let me tell you, 19.27% is not fun to pay. Let me tell you that much. Okay, so anyway, my point is, yeah, a lot of people are out shopping and doing things like that right now. But again, according to the reports out there, a lot of Americans right now do not have cash. That's what basically is being said. In fact, a lot of people are floating a ton of money right now. There's a lot of money being floated on credit cards, just like back in 2019, prior to everything going on and all of these stimulus checks and things like that, that allowed people to pay down some of their credit card bills and things like that. But again, I just saw a report the other day where they're saying that a lot of people are jacking up their credit card bills again because they don't have cash on hand. Therefore, they need to buy the necessities. They're paying more for the same things we were buying a short time ago that are in all these inflated prices, and we don't have the money to pay for it. Therefore, you got to put it on the card, right? Put it on the plastic, as they say. So, yeah, kind of some interesting stuff going on. But anyway, I wanted to come back with you and share with you a quick update on a late Thanksgiving evening. So again, I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Relax, enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe grab some extra sleep today. I don't know about you, but I felt weirdly tired today. I don't know, kind of a weird thing on this day, right? You know what I mean? So anyway, I hope you're having a nice day. Thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. Oh, when it comes to the stimulus package, just a really quick update. Basically, considering it's a holiday, honestly, I looked up and down, left and right, top to bottom, everywhere I possibly could, inside, outside, and honestly, there was nothing on stimulus today, simply because pretty much everybody's out doing their own thing right now, right? Congress is doing their own thing. They're sitting in their big, huge mansions, probably out on their yachts, sipping $1,000 bottles of wine. Who knows what they're doing? Honestly, I don't really care. But that's probably what they're doing. You know what I mean? So anyway, as far as stimulus goes, nothing as of now, but I anticipate tomorrow will be once again another very busy day. As it has been, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Either way, I'm here for you every single day. Have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy holidays, seriously. Happy Thanksgiving. Please remember, I'm here for you, and I really appreciate you joining me on a holiday. So,